Welcome back to the 30th Annual National Christian Homeschool Basketball Championships. Scott Staten along with Jeremy Caldwell, and we are coming to you on this court live stream from Drury University's O'Reilly Center and the pit court, where we have already had a couple of games in the books, and now we head into the girls 12U Undisputed Championship. This is for the national title for this age group. It will be the Dallas Thunder in the white with the royal blue trim and black, and the OKC Storm in the powder blue with the white and black trim. And Jeremy, we've seen a lot of these OKC Storm players. This is actually their second game in the last 2 hours. They just played in the girls 14U Undisputed, and now these are the 12U Undisputed champ.
Right, and they won the first game, so they took one banner home already.
Yep.
And they were here 7:30, 7:15 in the gym. So you gotta think they're ready to play.
Yes, they are. And we saw, let's see, 1, 2, 3 of the starters on this OKC 12U team, or the starters on 14U, to give you an idea of how good they are, even though they are some of the younger players. That time, Dallas Thunder able to come away with the ball, and their first shot from outside by Leininger, that is no good. Nara Leininger was the regional MVP for the girls 12U down in the Big South.
And if that name sounds familiar, because her older sister is playing on the 18U team, which is playing for a national championship tonight versus the Lubbock Titans.
Zaya Thrash that time tried a three. She couldn't get the connection, and back the other way comes Leininger for the Dallas Thunder. Goes up, shot is short, rebound comes off to Thrash. Thrash trapped down in the corner, able to get out of there, and then we've got a timeout. And their coach, Colby Mason, who also coached the 14U girls, wants to talk things over and maybe get kind of a flow. And so we saw in that earlier game, what do you see it as, Jeremy? You got 3 players that put not just a ton of minutes, but they were able to really lead that team to victory. They had been down by 4, went on a 17-0 run.
Yeah.
Is it an advantage or disadvantage having already have one under your belt so close to this game?
Maybe a little bit of both, because the disadvantage is going to be that they were down the majority of the game and had to exert a lot of energy, probably playing his players more than he wanted to play them in that game, knowing he had this game as well. But they came out victorious, and they're out here again. So we're going to see what kind of legs they have.
And an answer there. 3-point shot. That goes in. That was number 15, Carly Walker. That was her first 3 of the game. And the first points of the game, and a 3-0 lead early for the Dallas Thunder here with 4:24 to go here in the girls 12U Undisputed National Championship. There they try to answer from outside, but Hogan can't get that to go, and the rebound comes off to the Thunder. Here comes Walker the other way.
Hogan hit a few threes in her first game this morning.
That time Walker got trapped there by the OKC Storm players, and so their coach, Paul Hartman, calls a timeout, and they will talk this over. But yes, in the earlier game, we saw Nakia Horn, who's number 14. She had 17 points to lead that 14U team in the championship. We also saw great contributions coming along there by Zaya Thrash, who was also able to connect. And they showed a lot of ability, not only on the defensive end with a great press, but they've got some shooters. All of them can shoot, and they're really solid at the free throw line, which helps in close games.
Yeah, and that was kind of part of their run there earlier this morning, is they made a lot of free throws and kind of put that game away.
Dallas Thunder with a lead on the attack. Ball is thrown and through the hands of Leah Crawford, and it will come the other way. Crawford also one of those two-way players. We saw her playing on the 14U girls team a little bit earlier this week.
So this is a different defense that we haven't seen this week. And many of you that know basketball might know a little bit about it. It's a 3-1-1.
Yep.
And you pressure the ball up at the half court with your 3 guards, and you just split up. You stagger your 2 bigs down low.
That time Thrash twice. She tried 1 3-pointer, but then a drive, couldn't get it. But there to get the board for the OKC Storm was Faith Collins, and Hogan will reset things. Yeah, you don't see that a lot. And Hogan, boy, she continues what she did in the 14U championship. She connects from 3, and we are all knotted up now. The first bucket of the game for the Storm.
Yeah, she's got a good-looking shot, too.
Back the other ways. Dallas Thunder, Crawford with the ball, no good. Rebound comes off. That, I believe, was Heavenly Jackson for the OKC Storm. Hogan will get the ball in her hands. She'll bring it up against this 3-1-1. And 10-second call. You had to wonder if she was paying attention. Sometimes when you're working against a defense you haven't seen, you're paying so much attention to what you're supposed to do, you totally lose time, track of time.
Yeah, she was pushing it up, and then she just stopped and started surveying the defense and seeing what they were going to give her, and they didn't give her 10 seconds.
Leininger with the ball, goes to her left, drives, scoops it up, can't get it to go. Here comes a rebound off to Hogan. Hogan started to run it and then decided to pull it back out, and now she will get it quickly over the timeline and right down the right side of the lane, kicks it out to Thrash. Here is Jackson. Heavenly Jackson, no good. Rebound off into the hands of Walker. Walker gets it ahead to Leininger. Leininger's going to drive, scoop it up at the right and in. Her first two of the game, and the lead now back to the Dallas Thunder in the white uniforms, OKC in the powder blue.
After watching the game this morning, you got to believe that even though the Lady Storm get down, they're probably not going to get rattled. They were down most of the game this morning at 8 o'clock and come storming back in the fourth quarter. And that fury started at the end of the third.
Shot no good by Hogan. Yeah, so you know they got that under their belt mentally, knowing that even if they're down late in this game, that they have the ability to come up with a run offensively and get the win. Back on the attack, Dallas Thunder, but OKC Storm recovers. Get it to Walker. She tries to hit her second shot. That's no good. Ball knocked out of bounds and saved. Good save there by Mandy Teague. But she gets it back in her hands. Thunder retain possession.
Gonna slow down a little bit and get settled in.
Yep. There's a dish to Cheyenne Mathis, and there's a steal. Heavenly Jackson comes up with it for the OKC Storm. She will bring it up the left side over the timeline. Gets it to Thrash. Thrash over to Hogan. Far wing. They're going to work that ball around. They've done a great job of that. We've seen already earlier today on the 14U team, and this 12U team has a lot of that same DNA. Here's Thrash for three. That one just off, but the rebound comes to her teammate. She gets it back. Here's Hogan. Far wing, three. That's over everything. And I was going to say, at first the official was going to point the other way, but that time Cheyenne Mathis for the Thunder couldn't hold on to it, and it went off of her hands, and it'll stay with the Storm.
Yeah, I believe the Thunder might have dodged one there because you can't leave Hogue open outside because she's knocked quite a few threes down this morning and one already in this game.
Storm with the ball. Here's Hogan. She switches sides. She'll try a three from there, and it worked. Maybe that adjustment was as simple as just run to the other side of the court. That's her second three of this ball game, and now the OKC Storm back in the lead. Challenging on the press there, and Walker had the ball tipped by Hogan. It goes out of bounds, and the Storm come up with the turnover.
Yeah, the pressure defense, once again, causing havoc for the Lady Thunder here.
OKC Storm get it over the half-court line. Now they will run their offense, and Leininger, she anticipated that. Cuts into the passing lane. She'll take it all the way in, but that shot was just a little after the buzzer sounded, and that's how we will end this first quarter of the girls 12U Undisputed Championship game. It is the OKC Storm with a 6-5 lead over the Dallas Thunder. Back with the second quarter after this. And welcome back to Springfield, Missouri, Drew University, O'Reilly Center, site of the Girls 12U Undisputed Championship here at the 30th Annual National Christian Homeschool Basketball Championships. You are watching the Dallas Thunder in white, the OKC Storm in powder blue. Storm with the steal. Here comes Hogan all the way up. Her shot, though, falls short, and the Thunder come down with the rebound. Cheyenne Mathis. So far, just a couple of buckets for each team, and it is the Storm with a 6-5 lead on the power of 2 3-pointers by Nakia Hogan. At the other end, though, it is the Thunder. That shot is missed. Putback attempt, no good by Leah Crawford, and Hogan brings it in for the Storm. This is a 12U game, so just 6-minute quarters. Hogan will dribble through and get her team set up. Cross-court pass. Here comes Heavenly Jackson. She can't get the shot to go. Back quickly the other way comes Carly Walker. Walker all the way. That shot is partially blocked by Thrash. Fight for the rebound comes off to the OKC Storm and Faith Collins.
Yeah, if you're the coach of the Lady Storm here, you want to let your players know they just need to settle down a little bit. They're rushing their shots down low, and they're not falling right now.
Heavenly Jackson tries her own hand at a 3, but that one's no good, and Thunder will get the ball back. Trailing by 1, early second quarter action here, and the girls 12U Undisputed. Driving all the way is Leininger. Collision underneath. No call. There's the shot. No good on the putback by Crawford. And then again, has another putback attempt by Leininger. She is blocked, and here comes the OKC Storm with it. Leininger went to the floor pretty hard there, trying to shake that off.
Yeah, they just rushing their shots a little bit, just not taking their time. They're getting open looks down low. They just got to take their time, get their feet set.
Yep.
And I believe that's why the refs are not giving them the foul. They just look like they're a little out of control.
Storm bring it in on their sideline. That time it was just a matter of looking up. Faith Collins realized she was open, tried to take it to the hole, but that shot is no good, and here come the Dallas Thunder on the attack, trailing by 1 still. Neither team has scored this quarter. Drive down the right side by Mandy Teague, ends up in the hands of Cheyenne Mathis with her first bucket of the game, and they take the lead back. 7-6 now, Dallas Thunder in the white unis, OKC in the powder blue. Here come the Storm on the attack. Girls 12U Undisputed. That shot is a high arcing shot. Doesn't hit anything, but somehow the ball's batted right back into her hands. She can't get it to go, though. Kayla Mason on the miss there, and Thunder come up with the ball. Mandy Teague has it for the Thunder. She'll drive, almost loses control, able to get it back, but because she had already been dribbling, that is a double dribble and a turnover.
Yeah, she could have picked it up there and stood still, but she picked it up and started dribbling again.
Yep.
Because of that double dribble.
Hogan and Thrash bringing it up. Some pressure there by Mandy Teague for the Thunder. Hogan drives and puts a jump shot up just inside the free throw line, but that was short of everything. Really didn't have her feet set underneath her. Ball will go back to the Thunder. And we're going to have a timeout, so 3:04 to go. We are halfway through this second quarter. Not been a ton of offense so far, Jeremy, but both teams kind of trading punches, and they've exchanged the lead a couple of times. And OKC, we saw initially looked like they were going to press quite a bit. Yeah. But the Thunder have really been the ones that have been in transition more. And as you said, you'd like to see them maybe get the ball over half court and not rush their shots so much. They've had some looks, but they a lot of times were contested, and maybe a little bit wiser to back that out and kind of reset your offense.
Yeah, they've got quite a few looks in the paint right underneath the basket, just like you said, rushing the shots and not able to get their feet set. They're just trying to get the shot up before the defense gets to them, and just either throwing it short, throwing it over, or just whatever. But the last one, they were lucky enough when she got the rebound, got both their feet set, and got a good shot and good lift with their legs, and they're able to knock it down.
Do you think sometimes it's tough mentally, especially with some of these younger players, this is just 12U, that when you're in a rush to get it against a press, you kind of don't know how to then shift down the gear and then kind of slow things down again, and you stay in that one quick mode?
Yeah, because when they're pressing you like that and you finally break the press, you don't want to pull it back. You just keep going and take it all the way to the hole, and sometimes you're a little out of control when you do that.
Pressing again. Thunder, Leininger cross-court pass, and they get it over the half-court line. Now that is Walker. She throws it on ahead and got a whistle as her foot came out of bounds. Another turnover on the Thunder as they got it past the press there, but had to come down out of bounds to catch that one.
Yeah, she just didn't pay attention to where she was on the court, and when she landed, your left foot landed on the out of bounds line there.
Thrash gets it over to Collins. Back into the able hands of Hogan. Hogan will drive, go to her left. Here's Heavenly Jackson from the left wing. No good. Rebound to Leininger. Dallas Thunder with the ball.
Yeah, the coach of the Thunder is telling them to push the ball up the floor.
Thunder with the lead. Here's Leininger for three. That one's no good. Thrash gets the board. You don't really even sense any kind of panic or rush at all on the Storm. They, as we said, have come back already once in their 14U game, and even though they're trailing right now, it's been a close game and just taking their time and trying to run their offense. That time they were tied up by the Thunder D, but they will maintain possession because of the possession arrow. And going to have a substitution here. It's going to be Naisha Hogan. So now the Hogan sisters both on the court.
You had to take a second look. Thought she was already on the floor.
Yep. Ball comes in. Here's Heavenly Jackson driving. Goes between the defender, or under the defender rather. Can't get the shot to go. Good job by Faith Collins to get the offensive board, and they will work it around. That was Naisha Hogan. Gets it out top to Heavenly Jackson. Hasn't been able to connect on those threes yet, but she's going to keep firing, and that shot was just off. Here comes Leininger for the Thunder. Thunder on the attack. There's a drive, and ball rolls around the rim and then off of the backboard and into the hands of the Storm. Back the other way quickly comes Collins. She's cut off by Leininger. Back out to Thrash. Moves to her left with the shot fake. That three, no good. Rebound to Mathis.
Lady Thunder doing a really good job of getting the defensive boards and limiting the Lady Storm to one possession.
That time Leininger lofted it. Could have been picked off, but ended up to Walker's hands, and then on the miss, Hogan came down with it, but Walker's able to knock it away from her. Thunder and Storm just battling. Seems like neither one of them get their hands on the ball, and with the tie-up, it will stay at this end.
Yeah, it's a little scramble there, not knowing who had possession, but once again going to just trying to rush it a little bit. You know, I think they were looking at the shot before she had possession of the ball.
Leininger, the quick three on the inbounds. Now they give her two. She was just inside the line.
Must have been standing on that red line there.
That's her second bucket. Regional MVP down in the Big South, and going to be a timeout here. Looked like one of the Hogan sisters there got hit in the face, and I think she might have a cut and a bloody nose, and she's going to have to go take care of that. So the official quickly saw that, and a good job to stop play and make sure the player was okay. Her substitute tying her shoes, getting ready to come back in. So Leininger with 4 points to lead the Thunder. They are up 9-6. Here come the Storm. Going to try to get back that lead. They have been trailing this whole quarter. Neither team able to score much.
I believe she double dribbled on that.
Yep, and might have even stepped on the line. Either way, it was a turnover. Leininger will throw it in. Pressed by the Storm.
45 seconds to go here in the first half.
Leininger gets it across the timeline. She will drive down the lane, right side. Her shot falls short off the right side of the rim. And then on the rebound, another tie-up. Heavenly Jackson had the ball. Thunder able to tie her up, but possession will keep it with the Storm.
Yeah, she had a player, Leininger did, on the weak side there on that drive. She just unable to kick it to her.
Ball worked around. Closing moments here of the first half. Girls 12U undisputed. Storm trailing 9-6. Here's a three to tie. No good. That shot was in and out by or off the right side, left side by Collins. Here come the Thunder. Leininger, 11 seconds to go. Ball is tipped from behind by Thrash. Good job there by Zaya Thrash.
Once again, the Lady Thunder limiting the Lady Storm to one shot per possession. And Thunder coach is going to call a timeout here and see if he can set something up in the last 9 seconds of the half. See if they can get a good shot. He's telling them to pay attention to the clock. You got 9 seconds left. 9 points on the board to 6 for the Storm. So you got to think he's going to try to get it into the post of his post players. I think they have the height advantage between Leiningen there, and see if they can get a shot off before the buzzer and extend this lead to 5.
And in a game where it's low scoring, boy, it is crucial if you can end the quarter with a good inbounds play and get some points, because they have been few and far between for both teams. Storm have been held scoreless in this quarter. Here comes the Thunder with the inbounds. Clock is ticking, 7 seconds left. There's Morgan. She gets it back to Teague on the drive. Shot goes up by Teague, no good. Fight for the rebound, but the buzzer will sound, and that's the way things will end here. So a scoreless quarter for the Storm, and that means the Thunder hold on to a 9-6 lead as they head into halftime. We'll be back with the second half action of the girls 12U Undisputed after this halftime intermission.
When my body needs relief, I real-time it. I'd like to introduce you to my knockout pain formula. Real-time pain relief. It's soothing lotion, it's rich in nature's ingredients, and helps me manage discomfort day or night. And it smells great too. From muscle strains to soreness to simple back aches and arthritis. Real-time it and knock out your pain. It works for me and it will work for you. Real-time pain relief, it's a knockout.
And welcome back from halftime here at Springfield, Missouri, the 30th Annual National Christian Homeschool Basketball Championships. We are at Drury University at the O'Reilly Center, and you are watching the girls 12U Undisputed National Championship game, where coming out of halftime, and wow, quick turnover for Dallas. But they have a 9-6 lead over the OKC Storm. Storm had 6 points in the first quarter, could not score in the second, and the Thunder then have used that opportunity to grab a 3-point lead here as they try to win themselves an undisputed national title. There's a foul on the drive, and that will put Faith Collins at the free throw line.
Yeah, it looked like the Lady Storm come out aggressive and try to take it straight to the hole a little bit quicker, a little less ball movement, running clock, and actually got to the foul line.
Breaks a 6.5-minute scoring drought. Faith Collins with the first free throw. Second one up, and it's good. 2 for 2 at the line, and the lead down to 1 now for Dallas. Thunder in the white, OKC in the powder blue. Here's Leininger bringing the ball for the Thunder. Dallas and Oklahoma City battling it out here for the girls' 12U national title.
Yeah, in the 14U game this morning, whenever they were able to go to their full court press and put pressure on the Lady Chisholm Knights, that's when they flipped the game around and kind of took control of the game. Went on that 17-0 run.
Yes, they did.
Spoke of earlier.
That was a run that we haven't seen much like, except on the boys' side, 18U MHEA, but 17-0 just completely flipped the script on that game. And they've got it in them to do it in this game, but right now they trail it by 1. Back the other way quickly comes Morgan all the way. That one is no good, or Walker rather. Walker can't get it to go. And off at the rebound comes Heavenly Jackson. Jackson brings it over onto Storm side of the court. Gives it back to Hogan. Hogan, 2 3-pointers in the first half. That time she drove, and as she was getting ready to shoot it, about to be cut off and blocked by Mandy Teague. Good recovery there defensively, but forces her into the travel turnover. Thunder with the ball again and the lead. And that pass tipped. Leininger gathers it in, though. She throws it on ahead, and there is Leah Crawford. Crawford, little 8-foot jumper, no good, short of everything, but down underneath. Battle for the board. That was Cheyenne Mathis. Going to be a jump ball, and it will stay at this end, I think. They forgot to move the arrow. It will not.
I think they forgot to switch it at halftime.
Going to go the other way. Ball comes in for the Storm. 9-8. Opening minutes of the third quarters. Opening minutes of the second half. Here comes Heavenly Jackson. Jackson going to drive to her right. Try to work her way into the lane. Ball is knocked away from her. She gets it again, puts it up, no good. Fight for the board. There's another tie up. It will send it the other way. 4:12 to go here. Girls 12U Undisputed National Championship game. Dallas Thunder with a 1-point lead. And on the attack against this OKC Storm press that has caused a few turnovers, but it hasn't stopped Dallas from grabbing the lead. That time they get it over half court, but the ball is tipped, and it will stay at this end.
Yeah, there's a lot of deflections, and you can see the Lady Storm come out a little bit more aggressive here in the second half.
Ball is inbounded. Walker, here's Leininger. That 3 is over everything. Ball is rolling on the floor, picked up by Mathis again, and on the floor she is fouled. They'll get it out underneath their basket. That is the first team foul.
30.
And, yep, looked like it was on Jackson for the OKC Storm. Walker will throw it in. Gets it to Teague. Teague's shot sails out of bounds, but it was tipped by the OKC Storm player. It'll stay down at this end.
Yeah, I believe they said that one was blocked.
Yeah, Storm players didn't realize it, and then on the inbounds, it hits the backboard, ends up in the hands of Mathis, but she can't get it to go. But there's Crawford to get another chance, and boy, this possession is going to last for at least a minute. Dallas Thunder with the ball. Crawford drives, throws it up, no good. Fight for the rebound, Jackson. She has it, and going to be a foul on the Dallas Thunder.
You know, 44, I believe they called that on.
Foul on Mathis. That's the second team foul on Dallas this half. Here come the Storm, trailing by 1, trying to get their first lead since early in this game. To her left is Thrash. Thrash going to throw it. Ball is tipped away. Here comes Leininger. She's got the break, one-on-one. Takes it down and draws the foul. 2 shots for Leininger. And a 1-point lead that she can grow if she can connect on these. That time her defense turned into immediate offensive opportunity. She'll put up the first. Bounces off the rim. Got a substitute coming in for the Thunder. I think she's, well, no, she's not going to be for this year. She goes in for Crawford. And that is Emma Kirk.
Once again, you look over at the bench of the Thunder. You see their 18U girls that are playing tonight in the Undisputed game here sitting on the bench supporting their teammates and sometimes younger sisters.
Yep. That time, Mathis able to get in and get the offensive board, but then she threw it away. Storm with the steal, and then going to be a timeout. So they were struggling there, and Coach Colby Mason calls a timeout so his girls can collect themselves and try to get it down here. We got a close one here, and as you mentioned that, talking about this whole week, one of the great things that you've seen, and when you have these kind of programs that are bringing teams from 10U all the way up to 18U, is like you mentioned, whether they're just siblings or just in the same program,
right.
The support that these older players are coming in and they're showing up for the early in the morning sometimes when they've got games at night,
right,
and just
big
supporting their
too.
teams. Yeah, it's been really I just think a fantastic part of this tournament. It not only adds the atmosphere, but myself as a youth pastor, you always love to see when older teenagers invest in younger teenagers.
Right.
And don't see them as a bother, but that, like, they remember they were that age,
right,
and are able to just like encourage, and that encouragement just has to be just huge as these players develop.
Yeah, and the older players remember that these younger players are the future of the program, and they got to carry on your legacy that you leave behind.
That's right. Here comes the Storm over the timeline. Faith Collins, she will drive. Boy, the lane was wide open. Takes it all the way up and in. And that will give OKC the lead. That's Collins' 4th point of the game, her first field goal. She'll be at the free throw line to make that lead more if she can.
This is kind of what happened in the first game this morning. They trailed most of the game.
Right about this time.
Midway through the 3rd quarter, they kind of took the lead and never looked back after that.
That shot is no good, but the Thunder able to come up with it. Wow, pass ahead, and she was alone, but Mathis that time is challenged late on the shot, couldn't get it, and then as the Storm got the rebound, Collins falls to the ground. She is called for the travel. Felt like she got knocked down, but the official said that that was not the case. Here's the inbounds.
Once again, the Lady Thunder just rushing their shots and not able to get them to knock down.
Dallas Thunder have had the lead most of this game, but they just lost it and quickly got it right back. Nara Leininger, that is her 3rd bucket, 6 points. And in an 11-10 game, she is the leading scorer, tied with Nakia Hogan over on OKC. Here is Collins, 3 in the corner, over everything. Leininger has it in her hands, but then it goes through her hands, but ends up in the hands of her teammate Walker. Here they come on the attack. Dallas Thunder, a 2-on-1. Mathis going to take it all the way in, partially blocked by Jackson. Here come the Storm the other way. They trail at 11-10. 1:54 to go here, 3rd quarter. Girls 12U undisputed. All the way to the bucket. The left-handed lay-in by Zaya Thrash, her first points of this game, and her team back in the lead now. Pressing again. Thunder get it over half court. Teague with the ball. She's going to drive it, scoop it up, and she draws the contact. She will be at the line for 2 to try to tie and take the lead for her squad.
Yeah, it looks like last couple of possessions we went back and forth with the lead. We've had a couple lead changes here in the 3rd quarter. So neither team able to pull away here.
First shot no good. Into the game again comes Leah Crawford. Also into the game, Naisha Hogan.
And she comes back in after having that busted lip or issue earlier that she had to run out for.
Second shot, no good. Had a chance to tie it or take the lead and could not convert. Boy, for a second there, she lost the ball, and then she ends up losing it. Good double team there. Mathis all the way up and in.
That could be a big bucket.
Yes, sir.
Gives them the lead back.
Cheyenne Mathis with her 2nd field goal, 4 points. And now Dallas Thunder in the lead, and then the pass thrown out of bounds. A bounce pass, but it was errant as it sails past the Storm player, and that's a turnover that will get the ball back to the Thunder. They've got the lead, 1:15 to go, third quarter, but then on the pass in, ball is lost and knocked away into the hands of the Storm. Here comes OKC on the attack.
Yeah, it's probably not the pass you wanted as a coach.
Gonna work it around a little bit. Faith Collins gives it to Naisha Hogan, over to Nakia Hogan. Here's Collins for three. That's too long. Gets her own board, though. Tries to flip it out. Ball is knocked away and rolls around. Storm end up with it. Thrash back out top. Hogan, and her pass almost picked off. Gathers it in. Here is a shot in the wing, and there it is, and good. Zaya Thrash. Her first three of the game, the third for the OKC Storm, and now they have a 2-point lead. 29 seconds to go, and we got a whistle. That foul is going to be on OKC.
28 seconds left here in the third quarter.
Third team foul, so no free throws.
Both teams have just been trading buckets the last few minute or two.
Thunder throw it in. Leininger in the corner. Oh, Morgan's pass, or yeah, Walker's pass was knocked away, and out with it comes Nakia Hogan for OKC. Closing seconds of the third quarter. The Storm with a 2-point lead. Here's Thrash. She just hit a three. That one rims out. Rebound comes down to Crawford for Dallas. 7 seconds left. On ahead to Leininger. She turns, throws it up. That's going to fall short. And still going to be just under a second left to go. Storm will have to inbound it.
Yeah, I think she shot that one a little too early. Thought she was going to try to draw the contact, but refs are not going to give you that call normally at the half court.
Yep. And you get to learn that internal clock. You start to figure it out even more the longer you play and the older you get in these games. And that's how things will end here. At the end of the third quarter in the girls 12U Undisputed game, it is the Dallas Thunder trailing the OKC Storm 15-13. We'll be back with the final quarter of action after this break. And welcome back to the final quarter of action here. The girls 12U Undisputed Championship game at the 30th Annual National Christian Homeschool Basketball Championships in Springfield, Missouri. We are coming to you from Drury University in the O'Reilly Center, and the OKC Storm with the ball. They throw it in, and they're going to reset things.
Inadvertent whistle.
OKC Storm. This is their 12U team going against the 14U. A lot of the team same players from their 14U team that we were just talking at the break, Jeremy, almost exactly what happened in their 14U game. The Storm just kind of cruise, they just keep it within reach, and then midway through the third quarter, they're able to, and then there's a travel on Jackson and a turnover, but they're able to just almost like turn it on.
Right.
And partway through the third quarter, they go on a run, grab the lead. They've done the same thing here. Let's see if they'll get the same result as they try to come away with the 12U and the 14U undisputed titles. There's a steal. Jackson comes up with it. Thrash now with the ball, gets it to Hogan. Now Thunder putting on some pressure, but Hogan dribbles through it, brings it all the way down, past the free throw line, kind of a jump step, rolls it up and in.
Yeah, the Thunder just having trouble controlling the ball offensively.
And then Hogan with the steal, and she draws the foul. Whatever that formula is, I don't know if that's Coach Colby Mason just knowing the right buttons to push with his girls and being able to tell them when to do certain things, but they have been able to, as the game progresses, just seem to get better and better. They did that in 14U game as a free throw falls off, and in this game right now, starting to build a lead.
Yeah, they did, and they turn up the intensity of the defensive pressure, and they just pressure the other teams, and they start turning the ball over, and they get turnovers and steals. As they get another tip ball there, but the Lady Thunder, you know, when you start getting behind, now you're behind 5, then you start getting antsy and you start rushing things a little bit more than what you did already.
Yep. And in a game that's low scoring, a 5-point lead seems like a whole lot more. And then Leininger that time, boy, she's just being trailed the entire time by Thrash and causes her to lose the ball, and that's a turnover. 18-13. Storm with the ball and the lead. They were down 1. Since then, they've gone on a 6-0 run. And here comes Jackson. She dribbles all the way under the baskets, goes to the other side. They still end up with it, though. They save it and get it out to Naisha Hogan. Hogan over to Collins. Collins outside. Here's Jackson for 3. That's too long. Leininger with the board. Dallas trailing. Under 5 minutes to go here. 18-13. It's OKC in the powder blue with the lead. Thunder in white, and they are with the ball. And quick timeout as they were getting close to that 10-second call. And that pressure really causing problems for the Dallas Thunder attack.
Yeah, you can see some of the emotions starting to kick in the game here for the Lady Thunder. They're struggling offensively to get anything going, and they just has way too many turnovers here in the second half, which is what the Lady Storm tend to do. Is late in games they just start turning you over. And that also happened looking back last night to the boys 18U game against Gateway.
Yeah.
They did the same thing about midway through the third quarter. Into the third, they stepped up their intensity, start full court pressing, and just putting so much pressure on you as a ball handler that you just start making quicker decisions than you're used to. And sometimes that leads to a lot of turnovers, and that's how, you know, the Storm, they just kind of keep it close the first 3 quarters or so, and then they turn it on, and then they get you rattled a little bit if you're not used to big games like this. And you know, as everybody knows, the Storm program, they're a storied program, and
yes, sir,
they've played a lot of these championship games, so the coaches have been there most of the time, and a lot of these players have been there, so they don't get really rattled. I haven't seen a Storm team yet that gets rattled in a close game.
Do you have to coach differently your strategy in this kind of a tournament where you're playing every day? And we talk, some of these girls, because they're playing on 2 teams, this is like their 11th game.
Right. Yeah.
So maybe that is it. They kind of put a quota on how much energy they're able to really dump into that first half, try to keep it close, and as long as they keep it close, then you wait, and then you just give it all you got those last 2 quarters.
Right.
Here come the Thunder, and there's a reach-in foul going to be on the Storm. That'll be their 5th team foul.
It'll be on 12.
So no free throws, but they are creeping closer to getting into the bonus. Thunder throw it into Leininger. Leininger feeds it down on the block to Crawford. She turns and in and out, rolled off the right side of the rim. And on the fight for the rebound, goes off of the Storm player. Mathis was in there to battle. Thunder throwing it in from their own end line.
They've gotten the looks under the basket. They just haven't been able to get them to fall.
Teague with the ball, being pressured, gets it to Leininger. Leininger throws it on ahead. Here's Walker. Shot up by Crawford. That one's no good. Battle for the board comes down to the hands of Hogan for OKC. Thrash will bring it up. Walker guarding her. Heavenly Jackson with the ball.
You gotta wonder if they're gonna dribble a little bit of clock off.
Well, and that answer was given us as you saw Hogan drive into the lane, split the defenders. She draws the contact. She will be shooting 2. We mentioned Nakia Hogan, point guard for the 12U and the 14U for OKC.
Yeah.
And she does have the ability to get herself to the line and been a pretty good free throw shooter. I know in the earlier game, she was money from the free throw line. She had 6 free throws. And this one goes in. She's got 3 already in this one. 20-13 now, largest lead of the game for either team. Here comes Dallas, and that ball is stolen. Faith Collins on up ahead to Hogan. She drives it, and like she put too much of a spin on the ball. The layup is no good, and here come the Thunder. Big break for the Thunder, potentially. Here comes Dallas. Ball goes off of the leg. That time it wasn't an unforced error. Teague had the ball, but she had a Storm player on her hip, and that player just harassing her all the way down the court causes the turnover.
Yeah, the Lady Storm are just causing havoc defensively for the Thunder here. They just haven't been able to get any type of rhythm, and mainly turnovers here in the third and fourth quarter and has plagued them. And they're down 7 now.
2013 OKC closing in on a pair of girls undisputeds in this tournament already this morning. They claimed the 14U in a timeout. And right now, trying to finish this business with a 12U undisputed. They have been on an 8-0 run. And again, it's so similar to what they did in that earlier game where they put together a 17-0 run that started partway through the third quarter and ran all the way into the fourth and just really seized that game and that championship. And on this one, they were down 13-12. But since that point in time, it has been all OKC.
Yeah, the early part in the third quarter, the Lady Thunder did a really good job of matching the bucket for bucket. They were trading buckets, and neither team could pull away until they got here in the fourth, and the defensive pressure stepped up and the turnover started to mount up on the Lady Thunders, and they just haven't been able to recover. They haven't got any type of rhythm offensively to get any good shots, and it's shown on the scoreboard right now.
So with 3:15 to go, if you are Coach Hartman of Dallas, you got to get some stops here, but then you've got to find somewhere to get some offense. Here is a three right out of the inbounds, and that is Nakia Hogan, her third three of the game. She leads all scorers right now with 14 points. At the other end, Crawford's shot falls short off of a Thunder player, and it will go back to the Storm again. 3 minutes to go, the lead at 10. OKC really seizing control of this one.
Yeah, you'll probably see them start slowing it down a little bit offensively now.
11-0 run. OKC, and ball is tipped. Nope, not tipped. It was just thrown out of bounds. So it'll go back to Dallas. Dallas now with an opportunity. Got to whittle away at this one. And the ball tipped, and now Hogan with the steal. Hogan's got a player in front of her Thrash, but heads up play by Teague to come away with the steal there. She brings it down the left side, throws it back out to Leininger, but too strong. Hogan picks it off. She's going to take it. Being trailed by Walker. Walker screams as she runs by, but it doesn't do anything except give her an open lane, and that is the 16th point for Nakia Hogan. And wow, Hogan having a half. 10 points here since halftime, and her team's lead up to 12. This run, you're not going to believe this, it's not 17 yet, but they have made a 13-0 run.
That's crazy, the two runs that they put on.
And there's an answer. Finally, Carly Walker is able to connect again on a three. She had one early in the game and gets her first points of the second half. 6 for her. That cuts it into a single-digit lead, but 1:49 to go. Storm just going to have to try to work the clock here. Here's a shot by Collins, and it's good. Her second field goal, 6 on the day. 27-16, lead back up to 11.
Yeah, I believe when she took that shot, her coach hollered at her no, and then she made it, and she looked back at the coach, and he's like, I'm just kidding, keep going.
That time Teague tried to feed it inside. She had Mathis, but it went over everybody. And with a minute and a half to go, looks like the Thunder are going to make some substitutions. Here they come in. And a hand from the Dallas faithful. Thunder had a lead in the third quarter, but since that point, it's been all OKC.
Yeah, you see the varsity players trying to help control the emotions there on the sideline of their younger siblings and teammates there.
In for the Thunder, Emma Kirk, Christina Brannon, also Caitlin Quinones. Storm working the ball and the clock. They lead it by 11 in this girls 12U undisputed national title game. Storm just playing a game of keep away. Thrash with the ball.
Yeah, I don't believe the Storm are going to take a shot, and they're going to substitution timeout. Get a couple of his bench players in the game.
And I see Sutton Rowland coming in. Don't have a number 1 on our roster, but glad she's able to make it into the game as well. And it's been an unusual year in the girls 18U for OKC Storm. They had a good team, but typically you find them showing up in the Final Four and some of those teams advancing deep into a tournament. This time, though, they are not in that Final Four bracket. And as it turns out, they are got a bright future. They're going to be walking away this morning with a 12U and a 14U girls undisputed title, which bodes well for the future of their program.
Yeah, they show they got some good players coming up. And speaking of number 1, I believe she gets to go to the free throw line.
And I apologize, we don't have her. She was not on our roster in the program, but she is going to get a shot. So number 1 for OKC. Rims out, but she'll get one more opportunity, and you love the way her team is so excited for her, and the fans, with her opportunity, they pull everybody off of the free throw line. Second shot, just short. Rebound, though, she gets her own rebound. And then in the battle, the ball is knocked loose. Quinones for the Thunder. She gets it stolen away by number 1, but then taken back by Walker. Walker gonna bring it all the way. Try to put it up. Ball is blocked and taken by Heaven Lee Jackson, who gets it to number 1. Number 1 going to drive. Ball off her leg, gathers it back in, though. She throws it, but picked off by Walker. Thunder trying to close this out with some buckets. Quinones goes up with a shot. It is short. Jackson with the board. And OKC are going to run this clock out, and you are going to have a 14U championship and now a 12U undisputed title. They claim the 2 national undisputed championships 2 hours apart, and it is Oklahoma City Storm. They win it 27-16 in the girls 12U undisputed. Coming up next, back to boys action. It'll be a 14U undisputed championship between the Dallas HSAA team and the Northside Lions. We'll have all that action after this break.